this is level M, list 10, and we're doing the day 1 page, and in these words we have a silent W. So let's go through and highlight that first. In wreath, wrench, writer, wrapper, wrestle, wriggle, wrinkle, wreckage, awry, and answer. So in many of these words you can see the letter after the silent W is an R. So let's go through and highlight that. So we've got wreath, you can hear that, wrench, writer, wrapper, wrestle, wriggle, wrinkle, wreckage, awry, and answer, we don't have the R after it. Now answer, even as tricky as it is to spell, we're really fortunate that we don't have to spell it as it was originally written in Old English. So ansawara has changed to answer. So this is a much simpler form and much easier to remember than that. Okay, let's get another colour and we're going to go through, and this time we're going to highlight anything else we can see in these words. So we can see wreath, we've got the EA for the long E sound, and we've got TH at the end of it for th. Wrench, that's a short vowel sound, so we have NCH after it. Writer, we've got the E making the previous I make its long sound, and on the end of a word usually means someone who. So someone who writes is a writer. Wrapper, we've got like the lolly wrapper, so we've got the at the end here. Now this is a short at sound, so we've got the double P happening in the middle of that. Wrestle, that T is silent, so it wrestle, and we know, but if it did make a sound, if we could make a sound for it, it would be a stop consonant, and that's why we put LE after a stop consonant. Same with the G here is a stop consonant, and that's why we put the LE after a stop consonant. Same with K, it stops as soon as you say it, K. So we're putting LE after that. Now the other thing we've got back here, we've got two G's, because that's a short sound. Wrinkle, after a short sound we put NK, not ever NCK, just NK. Wreckage, we've got a short et sound, so we put CK after a short vowel sound. Now have a look at this one. We've got a couple of things happening here. Age, in age, the E is doing two jobs. It's making the previous vowel make its long sound A, and it's also forcing the G into making its soft sound J. So I've got a couple of things happening with that E. Awry, so the W is silent, but the I sound at the end of a word, we can use Y for the long I sound at the end of a word. Answer, we've got the silent W, but we've got that sound at the end formed with the ER. So quite a tricky list when you look at all the reasons behind why those words are spelt the way they are. Now let's go back and have a look at what these words mean. So if we look at a wreath, it's usually something round, flowers or things arranged around in a circle, and you might hang like a Christmas wreath on your front door at Christmas time. Wrench means to pull something, wrench something open, or it is actually a tool that you may use to open something or to get something loose, to loosen a bolt or something like that. A writer is someone who writes. A wrapper, this is a lolly wrapper, so it's a bit of paper that goes around a lolly. Wrestle means to struggle with over something, so you might wrestle to open a parcel, or you might wrestle with another person. It's a type of sport too. Wriggle means to squirm and move, like an earthworm would wriggle. A wrinkle is a crease in the skin that, as you get older, we get more wrinkles in our foreheads. Wreckage is when something gets damaged or ruined. We talk about the wreckage, what's left of it. Awry is when things go wrong or askew. So this boy was doing a science experiment, looks like it didn't work and it went awry, something bad happened to it. Answer is when you know the reply to a question is the answer. Okay, let's read the word, sound the word and spell the word. So we've got wreath, 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 wreath. W-R-E-A-T-H, W-R-E-A-T-H, W-R-E-A-T-H. Write it 3 times. And don't forget, when you make that th sound, your tongue should be poking through your teeth. This is level M, list 10, and we're on the day 2 page, and all these words have a silent W with them, and we usually see a silent W before an R, as you'll see in all these words. So let's go through as we read them, and you can highlight the silent W and then come back and highlight the R after that. So we've got wreath, wrench, writer, wrapper, wrestle, wriggle, wrinkle, wreckage, awry, and answer. We don't have an R there. So let's have a look at another colour and go through and highlight some of the other things we see happening in these words. So wreath, we've got the EA for the long E sound, and then the TH for the th. Wrench, you know, after a short vowel sound you use NCH. Writer, we've got a long vowel sound here from the E, and on the end of a word is ER. If the E is already there, you only have to add the R. So wrap her, you've got a short vowel sound, short word, short vowel sound, ends in one consonant, and we're adding on a vowel suffix, so that means you must double the consonant in the middle of the last consonant of the base word. So you've got a double letter in the middle of that word, a double consonant in the middle. Now wrestle, you know that if you have a stop consonant, you use LE after a stop consonant in a word. Wriggle, you've got short vowel, so you've got the double G. Once again, G is a stop consonant, it stops as soon as you say it. You add the LE after a stop consonant. So you've also got that with wrinkle. K is a stop consonant, so we add LE. Now wreckage, you've got a short vowel sound here, so you've got NK. Now this short vowel sound here, you've got NK, that's CK, sorry there. NK here, CK there. Arrives, nothing special in there. And so you've got the on the end of it as well there. So let's go back and read the words, sound the words, spell the words. So we've got wreath, wreath, W-R-E-A-T-H, cover it and write it, W-R-E-A-T-H. Check it when you finish to make sure that you've spelt them correctly. So what do these things mean? A wreath is a circular decoration that we might use on Anzac Day or Christmas wreath. We quite often hang on our doors at Christmas time. Wrench is to pull something, or it could also be a tool that we use to open something. Writer is someone who writes a lot. So sometimes we add to the end of a word to say someone who. A wrapper is, this is where you might have a lolly wrapper, which is covering on a lolly. Wrestle means to push and shove and wrestle. It's a sport. Wriggle means to squirm and move. Wrinkle is like a crease in the skin, or it might have wrinkles in your sheet on your bed. Wreckage means the damage left to a vehicle or something after an accident. Awry, when things go awry, they go skew-whiff, they go as not as planned. Answer, if you ask a question, the reply will be the answer. So down here you have to write a list word that means, so you'll find those words up here of course. Fill the gap with the list word and finish the sentence. So the word you have to fill in is first, and then you finish the sentence after that. And homophones down here are words that sound the same but are spelt differently and mean different things. So you've got write as in actually writing something with a pen or a pencil. This right means something is correct or you're turning right. Wrap means to put a covering over something. And this rap is a type of music, or when you rap on the door. This is level M, list 10, and we're doing the day 3 page. And these words all have a silent W in them. And you'll see silent W is often the silent letter before an R. So let's go through first of all and highlight the silent W, and then go and highlight the R that follows that silent W. All the way through. And then answer actually comes from the word Anzawaru. So we're really lucky that they actually changed the spelling to this, because even though this is tricky, it's still a lot easier than spelling it like that, Anzawaru. So let's have a look at what we've got in these words apart from the silent W is often followed by, precedes an R. So we've got wreath. So we're going to colour in that long E sound too, and we need another colour as well for the TH on the end. So that's making a long E sound. Here we've got wrench, so we've got a short vowel sound, so we're putting NCH after a short vowel. Writer, so that's a long vowel sound, so we know we only have one T, one consonant after a long vowel sound. And we're on the end that means someone who. So someone who writes is a writer. Doesn't mean someone who raps is a rapper. A rapper is something that you put on around a lolly, or something that you want to contain what's inside it. Now here we have a short at sound, so that means we do have double the P, double the consonant after the short vowel sound in that multi-syllabic word. Wrestle, here is a stop sound. T is a stop sound. So is g, and so is k. So if you say them, t, g, and k, they all stop as soon as you say them. That means that they're going to have LE for the ul sound after them, after those stop consonants. Now the other thing you've got down here in wriggle, you've got a short vowel sound for the it. So we've got the double G after that short vowel sound. Wrinkle, you would also notice that we have, we find a different colour. Wrinkle, you've got a short vowel sound there, so you're going to put NK after that short vowel sound. Wreckage, you've got a short vowel sound, so you've got the CK after that. And here the E is very busy. It's making the A make a long sound, wreckage. And it's also making the GE make its soft sound J. We can't put a J at the end of a word for the J sound, so we have to use the GE for that. English words don't end in J, so the G has to be used for the J sound. Or I, we know that Y can say EI or it. At the end of this word, it's saying awry, it's saying an I sound. Answer, you've got the ER on the end. Quite often we give that a schwat sound where we go answer, but you know to write ER. Okay, let's go back and read the word, sound the word, and spell the word. Now this is really important with these words that have silent letters, because when you read it, you're not saying that first letter. It's because it's too hard. Once upon a time we would have pronounced that W, but over time we dropped the W because it was too hard to do the W sound before the here, wreath, or rapper. So we drop the W and we just start the word with the sound, wreath. But when you spell it, you must spell it with the W in there too. So we go wreath, W-R-E-A-T-H, and you cover it and you write it. Now, if you're not sounding it and spelling it, you could forget that silent W. So it's very important that you read the word, sound it, and spell it. Plural, these are all nouns, so we want to make them into their plural form. So commonly you would add S or ES to the end of the word. You'll have to work out what to do there. Verb, we've got verb families, wrestles, answering and wriggled. You're going to have to work out their different forms and fill in the boxes. Down here, proofread and rewrite. Now this is not just spelling, it is also punctuation, so be very careful. So find the errors first up here and highlight them and write them in. Then when you've got to write them down here as a repeat but with corrections, it'll be much easier for you. You're more likely to get it right. So do go through and use some of the terms we've taught you in proofreading to apply them to any errors that you see there. Down the bottom it says combine with a list word. You might have to discuss that as a group to work out, like a ghost, you might not know, but a ghost writer is someone who writes the book and puts it under a different author's name. So we don't really know who the real author is. This is level M, list 10, and we're doing the day 4 on apostrophes, both singular and plural. So singular meaning one, plural meaning more than one. An apostrophe is added to a word to show that something belongs to something or things or someone or people. The apostrophe always goes at the end of the base word. So a singular possession is shown by David's coat was too small. We put the apostrophe at the end of the base word David. We're not saying there's lots of Davids, there's only one. So that means the apostrophe goes after the base word. The coat belongs to David, singular possession, singular base word. Plural possession, you've got to decide what the plural form is, and the apostrophe goes at the end of the plural form. So all the players is the plural form, so that becomes the base word. The apostrophe goes at the end of the base word. All the players' shoes are wet. The shoes belong to all the players, so it's a plural base word, showing plural possession. So add the possessive apostrophe in the correct spot. Highlight those which could have the apostrophe before it or after the S. So the giant's feet, there's only one giant, so giant would be the base word and the apostrophe would go at the end of the base word, so it would go before the S. Now if you're looking at the plural apostrophe, the apostrophe has to go after the base word there. The 3 pigs' houses, we're saying that there are 3 pigs, so the base word would be pigs, so the apostrophe would go after the base word, which means it would go after the S. So I'd suggest you go through and highlight in different colours whether the apostrophe is going before the S on the singular noun or singular base word, or after the S if it's in its plural form. So you could do that there and pop those apostrophes in as well. Now write 2 sentences that show possession. One where the noun is singular and another where the noun is plural. So I've given you some ideas of some plural nouns and where the apostrophes would go. So if there's lots of cats that you're talking about, cats would be the base word, the apostrophe goes after the base word. Ladies in plural form, this indicates that there's more than one lady, so the apostrophe goes after the S. Men is an irregular noun, so men is the plural form, that's the base word, men, so the apostrophe goes after the base word, men. Reese, there's only one Reese, but we're putting the apostrophe after that final S. Any names that end in, or words that end in S and we want to show possession, we're putting the apostrophe after the base word. So rewrite the phrase using an apostrophe for these irregular plural nouns. So sheep is an irregular plural noun because whether you have one sheep or lots of sheep, we say sheep, we don't say sheeps. Criteria is another one, cacti is another one. So if you're saying the pen belongs to the sheep, the pen is like the little fenced off area that they're in, belongs to the sheep. You put the apostrophe at the end of the base word and then you add your S. to show possession for an irregular plural noun that does not end in S, you must, and it says there, asks you there to write down your criteria.